It started with a sound no one expected. Ethan Cole was working late at the observatory when the signal came through. He thought it was interference at first, just static on the radio telescope. But then the pattern changed. It wasn't random, it repeated. Someone or something was trying to say something. He called Lena Morales right away. They had been friends since college, both into space, both stuck in jobs that didn't pay much. She worked for NASA now, mostly behind a desk, but she still loved the stars. When she heard the recording, she knew this was real. "This isn't us," she said. "Someone else made this." They spent days trying to figure out where it came from. The signal had traveled far, farther than anything human-made ever had. When they finally traced its origin, it led to a point beyond Pluto, deep in empty space. Governments took notice. The United Nations formed a task force. Scientists, soldiers, even politicians tried to understand what it meant. The message was short: prepare. We are coming. Some people laughed it off. Others panicked. Online, wild theories spread like fire. Were they friendly? Were they already here? Did they want peace or war? Colonel Daniel Quinn was called back from retirement. Once a soldier, always a soldier, they told him. He didn't believe in aliens, not really, but he believed in danger. And this felt dangerous. Weeks passed. Nothing happened. Then months. Some said it was a hoax. Others forgot about it. But Ethan and Lena kept watching the sky. Then, 6 months after the message arrived, something appeared near Mars. Big, silent, impossible. No one could reach it. No signals bounced back. No movement. Just presence. Daniel stood in a command center under Colorado, staring at a screen showing the object's size. It was bigger than any ship humans had built. Maybe bigger than a city. "What do we do?" someone asked. He didn't have an answer. At the same time, Lena found something strange. Energy waves around the ship were shifting. Not weapons, not exactly. Something else. Ethan thought they should act before it was too late. But acting how? They didn't even know if it was awake yet. Then, a smaller object broke away from the main ship and headed toward Earth. It landed in the Pacific Ocean. No explosion, no noise, just silence. And that's when everyone realized they weren't alone anymore, and they weren't being given a second warning. The world watched as the small alien object floated in the Pacific Ocean. It didn't sink. It didn't move. It just stayed there, like it was waiting. Ethan Cole and Lena Morales were among the first scientists allowed near it. They flew in a military jet to a naval base nearby. The U.S. government had sent ships to surround the object. Divers tried to reach it, but their equipment failed when they got too close. "It's like something is blocking everything," said one officer. Daniel Quinn stood on the command deck, arms crossed. He had seen war zones, but this was different. There was no enemy to fight, just silence and fear. "Do we try to open it?" someone asked. "No," Daniel said, "not yet." Back at the lab, Lena studied data from the ship near Mars. The energy around it was changing again. Not weapons, not movement, something else. Something building. "We need more time," she told Ethan. But time was running out. The object in the ocean opened without warning. A bright light shot into the sky, gone in seconds. No one knew what happened until reports came in from coastal cities. Power went out. Phones died. Planes lost control for minutes at a time. Then came the voices. People started hearing things. Some said they heard music. Others swore someone was whispering their name. Some people screamed and couldn't stop. "It's not just a machine," Lena said. "It's doing something to us." Ethan looked at scans. Tiny particles were spreading through the air. Nanites, tiny robots invisible to the eye. "They're inside people," he said. "They're changing them." Noah Grant, one of their team members, had been closest to the object when it opened. He didn't seem sick, but he wasn't the same. He stared at screens longer than before. He forgot names. Then he started talking about thoughts that weren't his. "I can see it now," he told Lena. "I understand." She didn't know what he meant. Daniel ordered a lockdown. The area around the crash site was sealed off. Military teams moved in wearing masks and suits. "This isn't a message," Daniel said. "This is the start of something," Ethan argued. "We don't know that yet," but Lena agreed. "If we don't stop this now, we might never get another chance." Outside, panic grew. Governments shut borders. Cities shut down. People stopped trusting each other. And in the sky, the big alien ship still waited. Inside it, something was moving. Not fast, but not slow either. Just steady. Like, it knew what came next and it wasn't afraid. The lockdown didn't stop the spread. The nanites were already in the air, in the water, inside people. Some changed slowly. Others became something else overnight. Noah Grant was one of the first full-GAN Ranja. Ethan and Lena watched him change. His eyes looked different. His voice sounded like it came from far away. "I am not sick," he told them. "I am learning." He could remember things he had never been taught. He spoke in strange patterns. Sometimes he stared at the sky for hours. Daniel Quinn didn't care about any of that. He saw a threat, and threats needed to be stopped. "We have to shut this down," he said. "Now." But the military couldn't move fast enough. The infection spread through soldiers, scientists, even the command center. People started acting confused. Then they stopped following orders. Lena worked non-stop. She studied the nanites under microscopes, ran tests, tried to find a way to stop them. "They're not trying to kill us," she said. "They're trying to understand us." Ethan wasn't sure that made a difference. Maya Torres reached out, through a hidden network. She was a hacker, once hunted by the government for leaking secrets. Now she was one of the few still free. She sent Lena a message. "They are watching us. I can see their signals." Maya had found something buried deep in the alien code, a pattern, a plan. "They're not just changing us," she said when they finally met in person. "They're building something." Daniel wanted to destroy everything, burn it all, but Lena refused. "There's a reason they're doing this," she said. "We need to know why." So Ethan went back to the signal, the original warning. He broke it down again piece by piece. What if it wasn't just a warning? What if it was also a map? He found a hidden layer in the message. Coordinates. Not on Earth, somewhere else. The Empire isn't coming to take over, he realized. They're running from something. Lena looked at him like he was crazy. "They're testing us," he said, "to see if we're strong enough to survive what's coming." Outside, cities burned. Governments fell. People either fought or gave up. Inside a hidden lab, the team made a choice. They wouldn't wait for the aliens to decide their fate. They would fight back. And maybe, just maybe, they could learn to use the nanites instead of fear them. It was dangerous. It was insane. But it was the only chance they had left. And somewhere in the sky, the big alien ship began to move. The world was falling apart. Cities burned. Governments collapsed. People either ran, fought, or changed. Ethan and Lena moved from place to place, hiding from both the infected and the military. They had what no one else did: knowledge of the nanites, how they worked, and maybe even how to stop them. Maya Torres helped them from the shadows. She used old networks, broken satellites, anything that still worked. Her voice came through radios, phones, screens, always moving, always watching. "We need a safe place," she told them. Somewhere off the grid. They found it in an old underground research base near Denver. It had been built during the Cold War, forgotten after the threat passed. Now it was perfect. Daniel Quinn arrived a few days later. He looked tired, older. The war he had feared had come, and he had lost more than he could count. "I thought we could control this," he said. "I was wrong." Lena showed him their plan. They weren't going to run anymore. They were going to fight back. "We can use the nanites," she said. "Not against us, but for us," Ethan explained. The alien tech wasn't just changing people, it was adapting them, making them smarter, stronger, faster. If they could control it even a little, they could stand a chance. Daniel didn't like it. He had spent his life fighting machines. Now they were talking about becoming part machine. But then Noah Grant appeared on their screens. He stood in front of a crowd of changed people, speaking into a camera that sent his image across the internet. "They are not our enemies," he said. "We are their future." His eyes were different. His voice was calm. He wasn't human the way he used to be. "He's gone," Daniel said. "No," Lena said. "He's just ahead of us." The next day, the alien ship above Mars moved again. Not away, not toward Earth. It split. Parts of it broke off and began heading to other places, other planets, maybe other stars. Then, new signals came. Not from the Empire, from something else, something watching. Ethan looked at the data. "They're not just testing us." "What do you mean?" Maya asked. "They're warning someone else." Outside, the wind blew through empty streets. Inside, the team made their choice. They would not wait to be saved. They would not let fear decide their fate. They would become something new, and they would face whatever came next, together. Ethan stared at the new signals coming from deep space. They were different from the Empire's message. These signals were fast, sharp, and full of something he couldn't name. Fear, maybe, or warning. "We're not alone," he said to Lena. "And we're not just being tested." They had begun changing themselves on purpose, using what they learned from the nanites. Not fully like Noah, but enough. Faster thinking, better reflexes, stronger bodies. Maya called it a war of minds as much as weapons. Daniel didn't like it. He still saw the nanites as poison, even if they were saving lives now. "I fought machines my whole life," he told them. "I won't become one." But he stayed, and he helped. The team moved their base again, deeper underground this time, under the Rocky Mountains. The old world was gone. Cities were either silent or burning. Some places had no people left at all. Then came the next move from the aliens. The big ship near Mars broke apart more. Not just pieces floating away. Ships, dozens of them, all heading toward Earth. Not landing, not talking, just coming. "They're not here for peace," Daniel said. "They never were." Lena studied the data again and again. "Maybe they're not the ones we should be afraid of." She showed Ethan what she found hidden in the alien code. A pattern, a history. The Empire wasn't just testing humans. It was hiding from something else, something older. "They're scared," she whispered. Ethan felt cold. If the Empire was scared, then what did that make humanity? A test group? A weapon? A mistake? The first attack came without warning. One of the alien ships flew low over Europe and fired something into the sky. Not lasers, not bombs. Lightning, but wrong. It hit cities and turned off everything. Lights, power, even hearts. People dropped where they stood. Daniel got word from what was left of the military. The enemy wasn't trying to take land. It was trying to erase life. Ethan knew they couldn't fight back the old way. Guns and missiles wouldn't work against this. They needed to evolve. Fast, so they made the call. They would use the nanites, not just to survive, but to change. Some refused, some ran, but many stayed. They injected the controlled version of the nanites into their blood. They became something new, not human, not machine, something in between. As the alien ships drew closer, Ethan looked up at the sky. "This is our world," he said, "and we're not going down without a fight." The sky burned with fire that wasn't fire. The alien ships moved like shadows, fast and silent. They didn't land, they didn't talk. They only destroyed. Ethan stood on a broken rooftop in what was left of Denver. The city was half empty, most people gone or changed. He looked up and saw the lights flash again. Blue and cold, cutting through buildings, cutting through lives. They had no time left to prepare. "We hit them first," Daniel said. "Wherever we can." The team split into groups. Lena led the science side, working from hidden labs deep underground. She and her people built weapons, not guns, not bombs, but tech that could fight nanites with nanites, a virus that could turn the alien code against itself. Maya stayed in the air, moving between signals, hacking into enemy lines, feeding info to the fighters. Ethan took the front line. He and others who had taken the controlled nanites moved fast, thought faster. They were not machines, not fully human. Something new, something strong. The first strike was in Los Angeles. One of the alien ships hovered above the ruins, dropping something like seeds into the ground. Ethan and his team got close. They used stolen tech to send a pulse into the ship's systems. It worked. The ship shuddered. Lights blinked out. Then it fell. Not a crash. More like it forgot how to fly. Lena's voice came over the radio. "We're inside their network. We can hurt them." But hurting them wasn't the same as stopping them. Noah Grant appeared again, broadcasting from somewhere in Europe. His eyes glowed faintly now. His voice was calm, but full of something deeper. Certainty. "They are not our enemies," he said. "They are trying to save us." He offered peace, surrender. A place among the stars. Some believed him. Some gave up the fight. Daniel watched soldiers walk away from the battle. "This isn't war anymore," he said. "It's infection." In Berlin, Maya found proof of what they feared most. The aliens weren't just testing humanity, they were farming it. The nanites weren't random. They were shaping humans for a purpose, to be tools, to be weapons, to be part of the empire whether they wanted to or not. Ethan saw the choice clearly now. They couldn't win by fighting alone. They had to change the rules, so he made the call. They would attack the core node, the main control point under the Atlantic Ocean. If they could shut it down, they could break the link between Earth and the alien fleet, even if it meant dying. Daniel looked at him and nodded. "Then let's end this." The mission was suicide. That much was clear. Ethan, Lena, Daniel, and a small team of fighters boarded a modified submersible. Their goal: reach the core node beneath the Atlantic Ocean and shut it down. The alien ships above them moved like ghosts, firing silent beams that turned cities to dust. The world was breaking apart. But they had one chance left. They dove deep. The OI. Water grew dark. The pressure built. Inside the metal hull, the team stayed quiet. No goodbyes. No promises. Just focus. Maya stayed topside, running interference from an old satellite network. She guided them through enemy signals, keeping their path open as long as she could. "We're almost there," Lena said, watching the sonar. The core node sat on the ocean floor like a glowing heart, pulsing with light. It was connected to everything. Ships, nanites, the alien signal itself. "Cut this out," Ethan said, "and we cut their control." Daniel checked his gear. "Then let's get to work." They suited up and stepped into the cold black of the ocean. Moving slowly, carefully, they reached the node. Wires the size of trees wrapped around it, feeding power and data across the Yaoi planet. Lena started the hack, a virus she had built over weeks, designed to crash the system from the inside. But the Empire knew they were coming. A deep rumble shook the water. An alien defense drone rose from the darkness. Fast, silent, deadly. Daniel held his ground. "Go!" he shouted. "I'll hold it off." He fired until his gun ran dry. Then he fought with his hands. Ethan and Lena made the final upload just as the drone struck. The explosion sent shockwaves through the deep. Back on the surface, Maya saw the signal die. The alien ship stopped moving. One by one, they fell from the sky. Some crashed, some floated away, but they no longer attacked. Earth was free, but not untouched. Billions were gone. Cities lay in ruins. The sky would take years to clear. In the months that followed, Ethan and Lena helped rebuild what they could. They led a new group. Not a government, not an army, but something between. Survivors. People who remembered the fight. And then came the next signal. Not from the Empire. From farther out. Someone else was listening. Someone else was watching. Ethan stood under the stars looking up. "We're not alone," he whispered. And now, for better or worse, Earth was ready.